We've never denied we needed a plan to get the deficit down. That would mean tough decisions on tax and spending. I set out £1 billion of cuts when I was Education Secretary. But as a party and a leadership, I said then, I still believe, Labour should have been clearer before the election, that if we'd been re-elected, there would have been spending cuts as well as tax rises. And today, I have no illusions that it is a big task to turn round Labour's economic credibility and show, even as George Osborne delivers stagnating growth, rising unemployment, long-term reform stalling, that Labour can be trusted again. George Osborne and David Cameron took it as read that deep and immediate spending cuts and tax rises would at least serve the goal of deficit reduction, even as we argued that going too far and too fast would be bad for borrowing as well as jobs and growth. The Chancellor claimed public retrenchment would boost private confidence and job creation. He called it expansionary fiscal contraction. But this has turned out to be a false prospectus. The question for Labour was never about whether to get the deficit down, but how, when, who should carry the burden, what kind of country would we leave behind. And however difficult this is for me, for some of my colleagues, and for our wider supporters, we can't make any commitments now that the next Labour government will reverse tax rises or spending cuts, and we won't, because we don't know how bad things will be on unemployment, growth and the deficit. What we do know is the next Labour government will have to sort out a deficit this government has failed to do. But George Osborne's economic mistakes now mean difficult decisions on tax, spending and pay are not only inevitable, that they will last for longer. It is now inevitable that pay restraint will have to continue for longer in this Parliament. Labour cannot duck that reality, and we won't. Jobs must be our priority before pay.